probably decided that I'll be doing many more of these, and it's just making me stand here and do this on my own. Anyway, thank you all for coming. We are still in shock, and everything that happened to us have not sunk in. Our life has changed drastically since the 13th of February, and we don't even know what day it is, and nothing in this world matters to us anymore. We are hoping for the day we can see our Pravin again. We just hope and pray that God will give us the courage to bear this pain and move forward. We know we have no right to question the God Almighty who created each and every one of us with a purpose. We always thought that the children are the blessings from our God, and we are only supposed to keep them until He calls them back. It's very hard for us to accept that fact, but we find comfort in God's promise that we will see Him again. We were told to talk about Pravin today. He can stand here and talk about him all day. He has given us that much memories in the past 19 years. Priya was only 17 months old when Pravin was born. So they grew up like twins. She learned to play the role of a big sister from then on, and she cared for him all the time. They became very good friends, and they were each other's secret keepers. If he had a B or C grade, she was the first one to know. When he brought that paper to us for signature, if we look at Priya, she just acted like she didn't know anything. They remained very close, and after they started college, the relationship got stronger. He visited Priya in St. Louis and drove her home and back every time after he took the car. With Preeti, he made fun of her all the time. There was no dull moment at home when he was around. Priya came into our lives 5 years after we got married as an answer to our prayers for a child, and we were excited when Pravin was born, and Preeti was another blessing in our life. We love our kids from the bottom of our hearts. We never went anywhere without them. They were involved in so many after-school activities and made sure I was with them for everything and enjoyed every moment of it. So we have no regret of not spending enough time with them. One of us was always with them. My husband worked night shift for 14 years. I still remember Pravin would have tears rolling down when Daddy would give him a kiss before he left to work. Sometimes I used to ask him why he does not cry when I go to work, and he would say, "Mommy, you are always home, and Daddy is gone all night." He used to put a t-shirt or lungi of Daddy inside his t-shirt close to his chest and used to sleep like that until my husband started day shift. He was that close with us. He called home every day after he started college. He knew that we would be there in 6 hours if he did not call. He kept close connections with his grandparents, uncles, aunts, cousins, and he visited his cousins' kids every time he came home and spent time with them, even if it was a short visit. He always He always talked to everyone and made friends easy. We didn't even think he knew their name. He would have a nickname for everyone, and that's how he remembered them. He would talk in many accents. He used to sing beautifully. He made a mark in school and in the community he grew up. We feel so blessed to be his parents and thank God for giving us a son like him who has been a joy to many. We did not realize the impact he made on others until God called him back. We are getting messages from so many people that met him once or twice, and they all have so much to say about him. We hear people talk about his faith in God and the discussions he had with them. We get letters from SIU students, parents, that their children who used to play basketball or worked out in the rec center with him and the impact Pravin had in their life. We are still getting letters from his school teachers and the parents of his school friends talking very highly of him. We got letters from his criminal justice professor at SIU talking highly about his work ethics and honesty. Got a letter from a girl who is an SIU student who was Pravin's friend, and she wrote very highly of him. Her name is Becca. She took flowers from his funeral and dried those flowers, melted them in clay, and made bracelets to Priya, Preeti, and myself, and a keychain for Daddy, and sent to us, and we keep them close to us. Another close friend, Dakota, tattooed Pravin's name in Malayalam on her arm 2 days ago, and that brought tears to all of us. Niles West alumni had a very nice article about him, and the teachers still remember him as someone who lighted up their classroom and being funny and smart. The Indo-Pak Club was collecting money on their last program and remembered him. We feel so proud and blessed to have a son like that. In his short 19 years, he achieved so much and enjoyed every moment of his life. Thank you, God, for blessing us for 19 years of happiness with our Pravin. Following his death, we know there are so many rumors and we can't stop them. We heard stories about him from being alcoholic to drug dealer and so on. Not sure where the story started, and people who know him well know that it's not true. We went to the house where the party was and talked to those kids, and they all said he was not drinking that night and there was no fight. The bloody knuckle he tweeted, which is a big story, is from a kitchen window that fell on his hand. Knowing Pravin, he did that tweet to be cool. Now we have the autopsy report that there was no drug or no alcohol in his blood toxicology. He was clean and made his name clear. Our minds are at peace. We felt better after we listened to the radio show host Monica Zukas with Pravin's friends Dakota, Rachel, and the other Rachel. We thank them for coming forward and making his name clear. We attended his wake and funeral with a heavy heart because of what we were told by the officials without knowing the facts, and thank God for clearing it for us now. We feel so bad for doubting him, and thank God he made us proud again. We refuse to believe there is no foul play since we saw his injuries. We refuse to believe that he walked through that woods with full of thorns at midnight and had no thorn marks on his face, arms, or chest. Now, since he had no alcohol or drugs in his system, how can we believe that he wandered through the woods? We know there was more than one person that did this, since Pravin could easily take 1 or 2 people down. We know that the driver was not a recent acquaintance like the officials have told us, because Pravin's phone record does not have his number, or he's not even a Facebook friend of him and never met him. We are not allowed to talk much about it because of the private investigation that's going on now. We were told by some of our own people that we are trying to blame someone for his death, and he was the only one to control what happened to him. No, that's not true. Whatever happened has happened. This is a 19-year-old kid, and we are sure they make bad choices at this age. But we live in a country that we believe that justice should be served and everyone should be treated equal, and should find out who played a part in it and bring them to justice, and should make sure they don't do this to someone else. Everyone must learn a lesson from this incident and learn from the mistakes. We all need a closure when things like this happen. We should not be told that this is what it is and just live with it. We refuse to do that. The way we were treated and the way Pravin's case was handled should not happen to another family. People should be treated with dignity. They should be able to believe and trust in the legal system. Every professional must do their job with conscience. We believe that this is the mission that God has given to us, to fight for justice for people who lost their voice. Our Pravin is not here to tell his side of story. We will be his voice until justice is served. If we have to stand in the corner of streets and beg for money or sell our house for the legal cost, we will do that. We live for our kids, and we still live for them. Money does not matter to us, and it never did in our life. We are normal middle-class people who were always satisfied with what we have. We did everything humanly possible for our kids and have no regrets that way. We always told them to openly talk to us and go after their dreams. We had hoped and advised Pravin to go for something in medical field, but he chose to go with criminal justice, and we let him do that. He hoped to become a police officer and later on work with FBI. Now he has left us a mystery that only an FBI can solve. We are sure kids are under so much pressure to balance two cultures. They hear one thing at home, and when they are out there, they deal with a different culture. So they try to make us happy and learn to keep the secrets from us. This is a very crucial age. Some of them have the willpower to face the peer pressure, and some don't. Pravin wanted to make everyone happy, and so we are sure he was trying to fit in and act cool. We can only tell them so much, and we don't have any control on what they do when they're out of our home. When they turn 18, they feel so grown up and think every decision they make is the right one, and the friends become everything for them. This is the age they think their world is under their control. We never knew there were parties during the week. If he had told us that night he was going for a party, we would have told him not to go, and that's exactly why he did not say that. You have no idea how many times we have told him that it's not safe to walk alone at night. He used to walk back from the recreation center at night, and we were worried, and he used to say that there are kids walking back and forth, and college police is patrolling the area, and nothing to worry. We are sure he had no fear that night when he decided to walk back alone, and probably did not even cross his mind something like this would happen. Walking was his latest hobby, along with workout and bodybuilding. He was certain that he was going to get a job as a police officer at 21, and he was getting his body ready for that. I'm getting so many calls from parents and kids after they listen to the speech in the first action committee meeting. People ask me if I had that written by an attorney. No, we did not have an attorney to do that. And the only attorney that helped us is our God. We just sat in Pravin's room and wrote it. We're sure that it was his words. He was so good in speech and coming up with ideas and logos. We are so glad to hear from families that Pravin's incident and we coming forward like this made a difference in their child's relationship with the parents. One mother from San Francisco called and cried to me, thanking me for giving her daughter back. She said her daughter is 17, and for 3 years they did not have a relationship, and she was very hard to control. After she heard the speech and Pravin's story, she went to her mother, said sorry, and hugged her, and she says she got her daughter back. I'm sure many of you read an article written by Parvati Menon, who is a 16-year-old girl. Thank God for bringing something good out of this tragedy. That's all we are hoping for. Change someone's life or make a small change in the legal system and the way human life is valued. His life will be honored then, and we are sure that's how he would want it to be remembered. We appreciate the Prevention Committee for organizing this. I already got calls from parents to do this again so people who missed today can attend. We think this is a good beginning. As parents, we do that. We do whatever we think is right for our kids, and most of us are born and raised in another culture, and our minds are still set in that. It's very hard to understand what our first-generation children are going through. I think I can relate to many parents when I say our first child is the guinea pig in the family. We have no idea what they feel and face when they are in school and college. They want to make us proud since we insist on good education and we instill the family and religious values in them. They are trying to fit in, and the parents have no idea what college life is like here, and many children won't say anything to the parents, mainly because we are all worried about drinking and parties in college, so they keep it to themselves. Now I hear from young adults who went to college here saying, Auntie, we all did it, and we all came home. That's a wake-up call for us parents. We don't know our kids the way we think we do, no matter how close we are. We need to have some kind of arrangements in our community where children can open up without fear and get advice and share experiences so someone else won't repeat this mistake. They should get advice from someone who is born and raised here and someone that can relate to the kids and understand them, and maybe then the kids might trust them. They probably are not opening up to us because they don't want to make us worry or upset. Now, after all this happened, there are so many articles in the newspaper, and each one is an expert in their own way. We have had some really good people that responded with empathy, and we appreciate them all. Some people are so quick and good in pointing fingers. I stopped reading most of them since those people don't know us and they don't know how we raised our children. Our hearts go out to Stanley's family, Jasmine's family who lost their kids, and Rennie's family who is still missing, and many others who lost their lives. The legal system and some people are so fast to come to conclusion when a tragedy happens before finding out the facts. People have to realize that this could be anyone's son or daughter, and we need to feel this as a human need. We need to stand together and fight for justice. This is not the time to blame parents for not doing their job. This is not one or two incidents that have been closed saying no foul play suspected. When something like this happens, no one investigates. We have heard recent incidents of kids being hung in the closet in the dorm, which was concluded as suicide. Kids who are perfect swimmers found from pool and river when they are with others, and was concluded as accident and no foul play. The first thing the family is being told is about drug, alcohol, no foul play, suicide, and so on, and the family is forced to believe everything the officials say, and they do believe in the state of mind they are in at that time. Knowing our community, the rumors spread so fast, and a lot of families keep quiet, thinking their child is gone and don't want to take the embarrassment from the community and also give up due to the burden of that expense with the legal cost. We are sure this happened to us for a reason, and God has a purpose through Pravin. Even though we lost him, we are hoping this incident will be an eye-opener to many, like parents, kids, community, and the legal system. Our community came together in this like we have never been before, and everyone in the United States is talking about it. No family can do this alone, and we are happy to say that we have all the support from our community, and we thank you all for that. Since the Memorial Trust started, it brings tears into our eyes when we see some notes attached to the memo. We see people sending money all over from $5 to $1,000. A kid by name Emily from the Skokie school put $5. We got a mail with a $20 bill and a note attached to it saying, "I am jobless and this is all I have. Hope you are not offended and hope you get justice for your son." It came from California and had no name. We met a young boy Pravin's age in the cemetery when we went to visit, and he followed us to the cemetery and offered his condolence and told us he recognized me from the TV, and he's so sad and wants justice done. And when we came back home, he had donated $20 with a note saying, "I am the guy you met in the cemetery." These all mean a lot, and we know a whole society is with us. We don't even know who these people are, and they still want to help and want justice served. That's a United States of America that we all want. We need more people that has compassion to the fellow humans. We want to thank everyone that has donated into the fund so far all over in and out of the country. God has placed appropriate people in every place we need help so far. Like we said before, we live in the greatest country on the face of earth, and we demand justice that every citizen deserves. Human lives have to be taken more seriously and should be treated with dignity. No family should be given wrong conclusions before they have the facts. Every suspected death should be investigated properly. When a missing person is reported, every effort should be taken to find that person rather than just following some basic protocols. Make sure every single resource is used effectively and Get the community and media involved in the search. There should not be any assumptions made like all college kids do this and they come back in 4 or 5 days. Please listen to the parents and find out what they usually do and don't do and plan the search accordingly. Time is very crucial in the search. The system should use every resource possible to find that person. There shouldn't be any saying like, not enough staff, Sunday is holiday, only patrolling can be done, and so on. Everyone needs to realize the value of human life. As hardworking and tax-paying citizens of this country, we demand equality and justice in every aspect of our life. We have to make sure our future generation is protected and treated with dignity, and we need to have our voice heard. Thank you all for coming, and we thank everyone who is working behind to make this attempt to reach out to the parents and children to make this a success and try to keep Pravin's memory alive. Please support the fundraising and signature campaign. Thank you all.